We have some major news right now. The massive economic blackout for tomorrow on May Day, May 1st, is growing exponentially. Cities across America are preparing for hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people refusing to shop, work, do anything in a major act of protest against what we are seeing in America. Tomorrow's day of action is based off of the one-day day of action in Minnesota we saw earlier this year following the ICE murders. But now it's being expanded to cities like Chicago, Los Angeles, cities in Arizona, Charlottesville, Virginia, and across the country. Teachers are not showing up for work. In some communities, schools are telling their students, we don't have the teachers, stay home. Organizers are telling folks, do not spend money tomorrow. No school, no work, no shopping. That's the motto. Unions are on board. Even many businesses are on board, allowing employees not to come to work. And they're making a clear message. Workers over billionaires. Spread the word. Let me know if you're participating. Follow for more. We have.
Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who taught us in this ministry. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Alright, back on another lesson here. Alright, this lesson will be entitled May Day. Alright, we are not ignorant of E. Alright, E is for the Esau. Okay, starting with these elites, the banking families. And as you see here, this thing going on, May Day. Alright, okay, today, which is May Day, alright, May the 1st, Friday, the 1st May 2026, May Day, where they have an economic blackout. Basically the people, protesting against the government, okay, not going to work, all right, school, shopping, all those things, rising up against the government. Okay, but we are not ignorant of Esau. Okay, this is what he wants. Okay, he wants the economic collapse of the society. Why? Because what they coming down with great wrath. Okay, according to prophecy, okay, they coming down with Revelation 13 and 16, okay, and they wanna get rid of this old, currency and bring the new one. They wanna bring CBDCs, okay, and these people are ignorant of him, but we not. All right. Okay, so I type up something here from Google. It says, why is May Day, okay, and +2 May Day. May Day sounds like a call for trouble, and see, this is what these elites want. Okay, trouble, havoc, they bring order, add chaos, order, alter chaos. All right, so I'll just take a read of this here, and we'll get into the video. Okay, it says thousands of US activists, labor unions, and community groups are engaging in a May Day strong economic blackout on May the 1st, 2026. Basically, these people, rising up. I think it's a International Workers' Day, rising up, basically rights for the working class. All right, it says featuring no school, no work, no shopping, no protests. You see, this is what these elites want. Okay, this is what this is what they're coming down to. All right, it says against corporate power and economic inequality. Okay, they want equal rights. Okay, participants demanding higher taxes on billionaires, better wages, and an end to policies favoring corporate interests. Okay, and this is going nationwide. I believe in the States there, lots of people participating, but don't be ignorant of this. Okay, I'm talking to you, Jake, you Israelites out there, because these is what the elites want. Okay, this is their plan. Okay, through some, Trump going in the streets, all right, which causing, all right, a chain a supply chain disruption, an economic disruption, and now they're doing this here for 24 hours. But this is what Amalek, these elites want Esau. Alright? Okay, wants the so-called white man. Alright, it says key reasons for 2026 May Day economic blackout. Workers over billionaires. Alright, organized by coalitions including the Democratic Socialists, okay, of America, alright, which they is a part of, this elite system. Okay, the action demands that policy makes prioritize working class families over corporate profits. Right, so we are not ignorant of his devices. Let me bring that. This is 2 Corinthians 2 and verse 2 Corinthians 2 and verse 11. Alright, I read in NLT just now too. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us. Okay, for we are not ignorant of his devices, but we not ignorant. Okay, thus we not, this devil not gonna get advantage of us, because we have the script, we understand by the prophecies, we know what going on, with the world and why, these Edomites causing trouble. Okay, to bring about the NWO. Okay, which just bringing the end closer. So we're not ignorant of this. These people who protesting whatnot, they ignorant of it. All right. Okay. The NLT, it says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. All right. Okay, we know this devil. He coming down with great wrath. Okay, Revelation 12 and verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, the people. Okay, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Okay, so they feel by rising up against the government, they getting back. Okay, but that just worsening the economy, which is exactly the enterprise of the elites. Is not a conspiracy theory. Okay, it's a conspiracy fact. Okay, let me just type up some there. Okay, is a will a birth now. Select just bear with me here. Economic blackout will a select here. Will a economic blackout worsen the economy. Alright, just to see what they will say, because this is the plan of Esau. Okay, will a economic blackout worsen the economy? Okay, a 24-hour economic blackout, a consumer boycott of spending, particularly on February 28, 2026, is unlikely to significantly worsen the overall economy. Alright, so they're saying it will not, say, as postponed purchases often simply shift to another day, while it aims to disrupt major corporations like Amazon, Walmart, to protest DEI changes. Experts note that only prolonged, persistent action rather than a single day, okay, would have a significant, okay, would have a significant economic impact. Okay. All right. So you see, because this is the plans of the elite. All right. And I'm just read this in Revelation 12 and 12 in the EMP. Right, and bear with me here. I didn't really plan scriptures here, but just going through the spirit. This is Revelation 12 verse 12 in the EMP. It says, "Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them." Okay, these elites, okay, the banking families, they they in the heaven right now, the rulership. You saw Edom, all right, okay, and you who dwell in them in the presence of power, who woe to the earth and to the sea. Yeah, destruction. All right, that's what woe means, because the devil has come down to you in great wrath, knowing that he has only a short time. So he coming down with his system. All right. We can't rise up with this system too, because the Lord, put Esau over us. All right. Okay, we subject to payments, because why the curses fall on us. Okay, so I'll bring this is Romans 13 and 1. Be subject to the government. All right, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of power. Okay, the Lord set them up over us. All right. Okay, why? Because Esau, Edom, is Esau the Lord, because the curse, we disobeyed. Okay, therefore the curses fell on us. It says the powers that be are ordained of power. Okay, that's why the higher class could have everything easy. Okay, go why Esau is in power. All right, verse 2, it says, "Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of power. And they that resisted shall receive to themselves damnation." Okay, for rulers are not a terror to good works. Okay, but to evil. Okay, and Esau is to evil works. All right, will thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise in the name in this slakia of the same. All right, the government. All right, it says, "For he is the minister of power to thee for good, but if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain." Okay, these people forget Esau has the sword. Okay, all right, Esau has the sword, and he coming down with great wrath. Okay, with AI and all that, and he want chaos. This is his plans. Okay, so going up against the government, not doing nothing. All right, just pushing this, which is what we want. All right, because we want this place to go down. It says, "For he is the minister of power, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil." Okay, so it's just the plan of the elites. They want which the Lord controlling them to do this. Okay, at the end of the day. But this is what it is. All right. Let's bear with me here. Just think about the precept. This is 1 Thessalonians 5 and 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 1. It says this is how you're supposed to be. Not focus, not worrying to protest against the government. All right. 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 1, it says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." All right, that we know. So we watching. All right, verse 3. We not ignorant with the people. All right, verse 3. The prophets, that is. All right, "For when they shall say peace and safety, Then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay, because he still had to trust in the system at the end of the day. When this all blew off, he still had to go back. And this is what the elites want. Okay, they want sudden destruction. Okay, to come. Alright? Okay, what to bring they plan, and this is just, Jacob's trouble, is gonna come. It's the birth pains, alright? It's coming. What, till the day of the Lord, till Yahushua returns. Alright, verse 4 says, But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Alright, we not in darkness. Okay, we're not ignorant of Esau. Alright, ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, Slakia, but let us watch and be sober. Okay, this is us. Alright, for they that are sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. This is these Jakes drunken in Esau's, system. Okay, complacent and think they have, a right in this place. This place going down. Okay, the inward thought is that the houses continue forever. Okay, just like Esau, but that why once this MOTB system come, alright, what they not knowingly helping to push, okay, you're gonna, a lot of stuff gonna happen. The end gonna come quick. So let's just look at that word sober. Okay.
Sober.
Not affected by alcohol, not drunk. Okay, this is us. Okay, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Clear-headed. Right, this truth have us clear-headed. Alright? Okay, we living in the new. Okay, non-drinking, abstinent. Abstinent, refraining from an activity or from consumption of something, especially alcohol. Alright, this is us. Okay, we are not ignorant. Okay, of what Esau. So let me just look up this. Is Midi a call for trouble? Just look up this. Okay, see, yes, Mayday is an international radio distress signal used to indicate a life-threatening emergency. Okay, and this is what, funny enough, they're calling it Mayday. These elites want to cause chaos. Alright, it is a primarily used by Marines and aviators pilots to signal that a vessel or person is in grave and imminent danger and requires immediate assistance. Okay, these people in Mayday in trouble. See, this is what these elites want. Sedition. But, okay, let me just bring that out. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15. And I'll start verse 14. It's like, yeah, this is always happening. Alright, this is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Destruction to the world. Alright, this, Babylon the Great gonna be destroyed. They're going through the birth pains right now. Okay, verse 15 it says, For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Okay, for there shall be sedition among men. Sedition is going up against the government. These people are doing. Okay, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So this is what, all right, these elites want. Okay, to bring about the system. Problem, reaction, solution. Okay, so we are not ignorant of this. We sober. Okay, and we know what these devils coming down with. All right. Okay. Let's see this here. This is Sirach 5 and verse 15. Okay, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. Okay, be not ignorant of Esau. These people ignorant of the government, thinking they have rights. Okay, well, they have none. Okay, so, just stay focused. Watch. All right, this is Luke. It's my last precept here. This is Luke 21 and verse 36. Watch ye therefore and pray always. Okay, be sober. Be aware of Esau and his plans, all right? That ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, all right? The hour of temptation is coming, and to stand before the Son of Man, Yahushua. All right? So we are not ignorant of, Esau, like these people. All right, so Lord's will in this video was edifying unto the elect. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who taught us in his truth. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, Wa Abad Babal and Shalom.